We're almost said as much time as people keep coming in. Anchor, we'll start by anchor.
I like the back there.
That's a good way to spread out. Alicia. I haven't seen you forever. How are you? How are you? See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you out for the graduation for our class of 2025. Will the audience please rise and welcome the graduates. Will the audience please remain standing while our National Guard presents the colors and our national anthem is performed by Team Leaders.
Good evening, faculty, staff, proud parents, my fellow graduates. On behalf of the class of 25, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to our graduation ceremony. I'm excited as your class president tonight. Tonight's a big deal. It's the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. We've grown a lot, made a lot of memories we'll never forget. It's time to see what's next. Thank you for celebrating with us. We will begin with our salutatorian address by Clay Weedle. Following her remarks, we will hear from our valedictorian, Reagan Blackburn. And then, following that, we will watch the senior section.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank all the students, faculty, friends, family, and community members who are all here today. Whether you have traveled from afar to be here, or just drove a couple of minutes, we are eternally grateful that you're here to celebrate with all of us. I want to quickly thank my family who were able to make it today, especially my siblings, who I'm sure are glad to finally send the last one of us off, especially my sister. I'm sure she's tired of coming back to each of us every single time. My three family members are all I have here with me today, and I'm so grateful for them that I got such a stabilizing home to be a part of. I can't say it's always been the funnest or most enjoyable for the four of us, but I feel honored to be a part of such an honorable bloodline and to have the luxury of being my mother's daughter. Unfortunately, as much as I love my mom for all she's done for me, I don't feel like losing any aura from getting emotional today. So you'll be getting my full face and love later. Plus, she hates attention, so I'd rather not put her through that. As for my classmates and fellow graduates who joined me up here today, it's kind of crazy how much time has passed, knowing most of us all grew up together from kindergarten all the way to now. For us, the time we've known each other and lived alongside one another seems like our entire lives, when in reality, it will only be a fraction of our lifetime. And after this, we may never see each other again. Thinking about it like that makes this moment bittersweet, but I'll always cherish the small, nostalgic moments we shared together. Like when Parker almost decapitated his finger in third grade, when Derek would give us all underdogs on the swings every day, which now that I think about it, that was probably really exhausting, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, Derek. Or when a lot of us got our recess privileges taken away in fifth grade because we all learned a bunch of fun new swear words to throw around on the playground. But anyway, you can hear them. Even last night, we got to pull off our face. It made me regret all the times that I pulled an excuse to avoid making a few more memories with everyone. Ones that still are. We've had our odd moments and good moments, and I hope that we may all meet again someday, because as great as this moment for freedom feels right now, it's easy to forget what that really means for many of us. And as forever as the school president might me feel right now, I know that in about 5 years' time, my name and existence will likely be forgotten by a lot, if not most of you here. And that is perfectly fine. The world doesn't have time to wait for me, and neither do I. So I just wanted to share a quick message that I hope that even if you may forget me, you do not forget what I am about to tell you right now. You might be thinking, what could an 18-year-old girl who's just graduating possibly know about anything about the real world? Right? Well, I don't care if you're 7 years old, a graduate on this stage right now, a parent, or a senior. We're all once children too. All I ask you all to do and remember is one thing: be human. I know this sounds really corny, but I mean it. I feel like sometimes, especially nowadays, it's easy to forget that. Like I said, the world won't wait for you to remember what you are and what your life means. To live and breathe is what a privilege, and one that isn't kind to mistakes and pure chance. life means isn't being rich, being quote-unquote successful, getting the best grades, raising your social status, or being like that guy or girl you saw on Instagram the other day. It's about being imperfect and real, just like the rest of us. Accepting that you are foolish, and you will be foolish until death. Learning that you are flawed, learning that sometimes you have to be uncomfortable, and living through the stages of life, not just surviving through changes. Our time is but a speck of dust in the history of the world, and I believe that we must do justice. Sometimes in today's environment, we forget it's okay to live quietly and be present, stare at the grass and think of nothing at all, feel guilt when we are condemned, not know what's next in line for us, and cry for people that we do not know. Live in the moment, appreciate what you have already, and be not afraid to change. To be human is beautiful, and the unpredictable course of life is what makes us so special. Let the wind carry you, because as one of my favorite quotes goes, every world has its end. I know that's kind of sad, but that's why we gotta live life to the fullest in the time we have. I hope we all don't forget that in this chaotic and loud world we live in, we need to stay human. As we graduate to move on to the next little moment in our hopefully long lives, I hope that you all do too. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025.
Good evening, students, teachers, families, and friends. Today marks the closing of a chapter that has shaped us in countless ways. For each of us, high school has been a unique story, full of challenges, growth, and moments that have defined who we are. While this chapter ends today, it's far from the end of the story. It's simply the turning of a page. Some chapters are quiet, some are difficult. Others are full of unexpected moments that change the course of everything that might come after. This chapter, our high school years, has contained all of those things. It has taught us how to adapt, how to persevere, how to move forward, even when things on the way ahead felt a little uncertain. But let's be honest, it wasn't all about studying, projects, and perfect attendance. We've all had our moments, whether it was pretending to read our common quiz books and hoping the teacher didn't catch us zoning out on the quiz, or the many times we skipped seminary to make a quick gas station run. These moments have been just as much part of our high school experience as any of those learned from the textbooks. To our teachers, we want to thank you for being more than educators. You've been our guides, our motivators, and let's face it, a lot of the times our therapists. You gave us the space to learn, but also the space to be ourselves, whether that meant listening to us talk about what we'd rather be doing instead of the homework, or listening about the latest tea. To the teachers who somehow knew we didn't really read those chapters, but still encouraged us to think critically. To the ones who made sure we checked Canvas every morning, but still managed to read with a smile. Thank you. You didn't just teach us academic lessons. You taught us lessons in patience, understanding, and the art of letting things slide, at least just a little bit. We've learned not only academic lessons, but life lessons. We've learned the importance of listening to others, to ourselves, and to the world around us. We've learned what it means to work for something that matters, to support one another, and to hold on to our values when they're tested. We've also grown, sometimes in quiet and unnoticed ways. We've discovered strengths we did not know we had. We have learned to advocate for ourselves and for others around us. We have learned that our voices carry weight, and that our choices have impact, and that our actions shape the lives around us. To our families, thank you for constant love and unwavering presence. You have been our foundation. Your sacrifices, encouragement, and faith in our future have brought us to this moment. We couldn't have done it without you. We are the class of 2025. We are the class that witnessed change, through challenges that we've never expected. We navigated a world that's not always sure of its own direction. We adjusted, rebuilt, and kept showing up, proving that nothing would stop us from reaching this day. From dealing with the uncertainty of of the last few years to showing up for one another day after day, this class proved its strength in years that will echo to come. Now, I'm sure many of us have heard the phrase, "These are the good old days." People say it as though this is the pinnacle of life, as if these 4 years are the best it's ever going to get. And don't get me wrong, there have been plenty of great moments here, unforgettable memories, amazing friendships, and moments that surely made us feel alive. But as much as I and find a place in the world that continues to evolve. We will face the realities of higher education, careers, and personal growth. The challenges we face may be more difficult than those we encountered in high school, but we're prepared for them. We have been equipped with the tools to adapt, the wisdom to learn from our mistakes, and the drive to keep pushing forward. This moment is not the conclusion of something small. It is the continuation of something important. We each carry a story worth telling, and from this day forward, we will be the ones to write it. Let us write it with intention. Let us fill the pages with kindness, with truth, with effort, and with hope. Let us write lives that matter, not because they are perfect, but because they are lived with purpose. I want to congratulate every member of this graduating class. May the next chapter be full of meaning, growth, and grace. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, we didn't really have anyone else to do our keynote speaker tonight. We only really had one option, and she's not really that good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. No, I'm joking. It is my great honor to introduce our keynote speaker today, someone who has made a lasting impact on Wayne High School and each of us personally. Geneva Peterson is more than just a teacher. She is a mentor, a cheerleader, and a constant source of encouragement. A recent graduate from Utah State University, Geneva teaches social studies here at Wayne High School, where her influence goes far beyond the classroom. In her 3 years at Wayne High School, she has founded our current chapter of National Honor Society, brought the National History Day program, and an annual historic trip that takes our students to Washington, D.C. She advises yearbook, drama, and the class of, hold on. Sorry. She advises yearbook, drama, and the class of 2028, National Honor Society and National History Day, giving countless hours to support students in every corner of campus life, whether she's teaching a tough topic, choreographing a floor show or musical, helping us write our scholarship essays, or cheering us on from the sidelines. Geneva pours her heart into everything she does. Her passion for learning is contagious and her belief is unwavering. When we thought about who we wanted to speak at our graduation, the choice was clear. We wanted someone who truly knows us, who's been there
nearly a year ago, I decided I really wanted to get in the headspace of these students. So I approached this speech just like they've approached countless assignments in my classes over the years. I called Reagan, the graduation chairman, last night to see if she would accept labor. And when she said no, I stayed up the rest of the night to finish it. Graduates, this moment is a big one. You're not just walking across the figure to the stage, you're walking into history. You're the first graduating class from our new school, and that means something. It means your legacy isn't just written in yearbooks or senior quotes. And especially as of last night, it's literally built into the walls of this building. The footsteps you've left in the hallways, the traditions you've started, the lessons you've learned, they are all part of the foundation of this place. Which brings me to a quote I'd like to share with you. It used to hang in my grandmother's house. It says this: "Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, becomes your character. Watch your character, it becomes your legacy." The legacy, that's a big word, and not just because it has 3 syllables. It sounds like something reserved for kings, presidents, or history books. But the truth is, legacy isn't built in grand moments. It's shaped by the small, everyday decisions you've made for the last 4 years. So let's break that quote down a little bit more. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. It all starts with a thought. A quiet moment before the game, wondering if you'll pull off the win. That second before raising your hand in class, deciding whether to speak up. It's how you think about yourself and others that begins to shape the world. Because thoughts are powerful. They're the lens through which you see everything. If you believe you're capable, you try harder. If you think someone else matters, you treat them with kindness. Every action you've ever taken has started in your mind, with a choice to care, to push forward, to keep going, or to give up. The story you tell yourself in your head, I'm not smart enough, I don't belong, I can't. Those thoughts have power to hold you back. But when you learn to change that story, when you start saying, I can figure it out, I have something to offer, I belong here, everything else can change too. Positive or negative, our thoughts create momentum. They grow, and eventually they become the words we speak and the lives we lead. Take Derek and Austin, for example. 4 years ago, they probably didn't think much of holding open a door. But they started doing it, day after day, rain or shine. They didn't make a big deal of it, they just showed up and did it. That small thought that maybe it was worth taking a second to make someone's day easier turned into a habit. When I surveyed some of our staff and students this year, I asked them to name some of the small and meaningful things that have shaped our school culture. Every single response mentioned Derek and Austin at the doors. Every one. They even come to school early, often before some of the staff, just to hold the doors. This year, there's a bus stop outside of our front doors for elementary school students. And as the year has gone on, they've noticed. The elementary kids have seen Derek and Austin standing there quietly holding the doors, and now quite often, I see those same kids holding the doors with them too. Sometimes, Derek and Austin are standing right next to them, shoulder to shoulder, with second and third graders opening the doors together. That's how legacies begin, with a simple thought that grows. Watch your words, they become your actions. Words have power. The way you speak to each other, the way you encourage or criticize, it shapes how you act. I've seen it in the classroom and on the court. When someone says you've got this or quietly asks, you okay, to someone having a rough day, those words spark action. A few months ago, I saw a student new to our school in the hallway clearly having a rough day, head down, backpack half zipped, the look we all get when the weight of the week is just a little too much. Most people walk by, but one of you, without any fanfare, just slowed down and gave him a gentle nudge on the arm and said, hey, you good? That moment mattered. I watched as that student nodded and said, yeah, and pulled it together. But later that day, they told me it was the first time all week someone had actually noticed them. That tiny, almost throwaway phrase, you good, changed the course of their day, changed how they felt in our school, and changed how they viewed our community. That's the power of words. They don't need to be profound or perfect, they just need to be real. And when spoken with care, they turn something bigger. Action, connection, even healing. Watch your actions to become your habits. It's easy to overlook habits because they feel small, but habits build your legacy. It's the way you showed up every single day, whether it was Derek Johnston at the door, the way you stepped in to help a classmate, or someone picking up trash after a game without being asked. Those actions became habits, not because anyone made you do it, but because you chose to be that kind of person. I saw it firsthand this year. My husband is one of the janitors, so after every home game, we stayed behind to clean. Most nights, there's the usual, some wrappers, spilled popcorn, maybe a stray water bottle. But there's one basketball game this year where the mess was unbelievable. There was paint smeared on the bleachers, glitter everywhere, sticky soda on the floor, food and trash scattered across the student section. It was so out of the ordinary that I couldn't figure out what had gone wrong. And then I realized Gavin, Waylon, and Parker hadn't been there that night. Every other game, those three had quietly taken it upon themselves to clean up the student section. No one asked them to, they just did it every time. It had become a part of who they were. That night, without them, the impact of their absence was undeniable. Their habit of service had made such a difference that when it wasn't there, everything felt off. That's how powerful habits are. That's how legacy works. It's not built all at once. It's built in the invisible, consistent ways you make a space better just by being in it. Watch your habits, they become your character. Character isn't about what you say, it's about what you do when no one's watching. The habits you've built over the last 4 years, showing up, supporting each other, staying late to clean after a game, helping a classmate with an assignment, those moments have shaped who you are. Your character was formed not in just the big wins or the tough losses, but the everyday grind. It was in choosing to show up when you didn't have to, and stepping up when someone needed you. In making the quiet, sometimes inconvenient choice to do what's right, even when it didn't come with recognition. It was when you stayed behind stacked chairs after an assembly, when you saw someone sitting alone and sat down beside them, when you helped take posters for a dance or fix a mic before a performance, or stepped in to run music at a pep assembly, when you carried someone else's equipment across the parking lot, even when no one asked you. These weren't moments meant for Instagram stories or announcements over the intercom. They were just real, quiet, consistent, and it made you into people others could count on. It's easy to think character is the big dramatic moments, giving speeches, taking the lead, standing at the front. But true character shows up when no one is keeping score. And that's what I've seen again and again from this class. Watch your character becomes your legacy. That's the thing about legacy. It's not just about what you did, but how you made people feel. The elementary school students now holding doors open, that's legacy. The younger classes looking up to you at games and pep rallies, that's legacy. The culture you built, the way you've shown that kindness, respect, and hard work matter, that's your legacy. And it's going to last long after tonight. You were the first class to set the tone for what it means to blend grades in our new 712 school. That could have been chaotic. You could have rolled your eyes, complained about sharing spaces with junior high kids, and made sure everyone knew you were seniors. But you didn't. You made space. You led with patience and kindness, and you turned what could have been tension into mentorship. You welcomed them, helped them navigate the halls, invited them into the culture of our school, and that made all the difference. You made it an adventure instead of a burden. You helped create something that felt exciting and inclusive, that takes maturity, that takes vision, and more than anything, that takes gratitude. You didn't act entitled to your senior year experience. You didn't get stuck in what was lost or different. You set an example of resilience, positivity, and gratitude, traits that are going to shape not only how future classes approach change, but how they lead when it's their turn. You don't have to be famous to leave a legacy. You don't need a statue or a building named after you. You don't need to be in history books. Legacies are built in the quiet, consistent choices that you make every day. Now, when I first started teaching in class of 2025, they were one of my very first groups of students, and I had been warned about them extensively. They were a difficult bunch, people told me. They'll test your patience. But being the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed new teacher, I wanted to come in without prejudgments, so I decided to see them with fresh eyes. And let me tell you, every single warning I received was absolutely 100% accurate. I had scissors thrown at my head. They submitted Randy's naked a baby photo in place of their homework. They ate my glue sticks. They stacked my tables to the ceilings. They broke into my classroom. They reenacted the Boston Tea Party at Lake Powell, complete with dumping tea into the water. Although just so you know, the colonists actually used tea leaves, not twisted tea. They spotlit my house, dumped pumpkins in my yard, left dissected fetal pigs on my desk, and I can't prove it, I'm fairly certain it was one of them that signed me up as a participant in the Special Olympics. Every day was an adventure. But here's the thing. The very traits that made them so challenging also made them unforgettable. Their energy, creativity, and refusal to do anything halfway weren't just quirks, they were signs of the remarkable people they're becoming. That boundless energy is what will drive them to take on long shifts in hospitals, build businesses from the ground up, and coach their little league teams after a full day of work. Their questioning of authority is what will help them advocate for each other as lawyers, activists, and teachers. That creativity that turned my tables into a precarious tower is what will inspire the art that they create, the problems they solve, and the ideas that they bring into the world. Each of these students, each of you, has shown me that what some see as flaws are actually strengths in disguise. You've proven that even when the world doesn't understand you, you have the potential to leave a mark no one else can replicate. The legacy of the class of 2025 is one of resilience, determination, and boundless possibility. Your future professors, doctors, welders, parents, aviation mechanics, dental hygienists, artists, teachers, and so much more. You've already made an indelible mark on Wayne High School now, a little bit more literally, and I know you will continue to leave your legacy wherever life takes you, because your thoughts have shaped your words have shaped your actions have shaped your character, or your habits, and your habits have shaped your character, and now your character is shaping your legacy. So, as you walk across to get your diploma tonight, remember this. Legacy isn't about one big moment. It's about the small choices you make every day. And from what I've seen over the last 3 years, you're already off to a pretty incredible start. I truly believe that the students standing behind me are some of the best Wayne County has to offer. Congratulations, class of 2025. You've made history, and I can't wait to see the legacy you'll leave next. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer, on what we've done without you throughout high school. We're truly grateful for your guidance, encouragement, and unwavering support. Through the years, now let's continue with our program. Up next, we have an honor to hear from our Principal, David Chappell. Following Principal Chappell will be addressed by our Superintendent, Randy Shelley. After these speeches, the Wayne High Board of Education and WHS faculty will present the diplomas to the class of 2025. Thank you for all being here, celebrating this significant milestone with us. Let's give a warm welcome to our Principal, David Chappell.
PT, it's an honor for me to be here today and be able to share a few remarks with all of you about the class of 2025. Greatest staffs in the state and possibly in the country. So I would ask all of the staff from Wayne High School to please stand and let's recognize all that they do for these students. These are wonderful people doing great things, and your children are in good hands. I can testify to that. Now, on to the class of 2025. Well, they're still up to their stuff. I got to school this morning, and my office was full of balloons and other paraphernalia. Jimmy was not the only one. They also put balloons all the way up the stairway. Couldn't get up the stairs, for heaven's sake. Didn't you have something better to do? They also, as was mentioned, certainly left their mark in the halls of Wayne High School last night. of individuals. It's been a pleasure to get to know them. Geneva amply talked about some of the things that this class has done, some of the small things that have showed their character, their willingness to be kind, to serve others. And to be quite honest, this really has been a very smooth transition to a 7th through 12th grade school. And if they had been different, if they had not have reacted the way that they did, and been the leaders that they were in the school, welcoming younger kids into our school and into the whole new system, it could have been a different year. I have told everybody that's talked to me that this has gone so much smoother than I anticipated, and I have to say thank you to you for what you've done. Thank you. Here in a few moments, we're going to hand out your diplomas. Those diplomas will represent that you guys all completed the requirements to pass the classes necessary to graduate from Wayne High School. But that's not necessarily what Wayne High School is all about. And I appreciated Reagan's comments as she talked about some of the other lessons that were learned. High school is an experience. It's not just about the acquisition of knowledge. It is an experience where they learn responsibility, where they should learn a good work ethic, where they recognize that they have responsibilities to turn in assignments, deadlines, opportunities to work as a team, opportunities to be on teams, opportunities to participate in activities that require them to step out of their comfort zones, opportunities to show up on time and not be tardy. Some of them still really haven't learned that lesson, by the way. They know who they are. But you know what? I'm not going to be at the door anymore telling you, you're a few minutes late. So, good luck with that one as you move forward. However, the high school experience is designed to prepare you for the future. It's designed to help you become functioning adults. And to be quite honest, that is what we strive to do on a daily basis at Wayne High School. We strive to help them to be functioning adults. You are now entering the realm of those individuals who are alumni, individuals who have graduated from Wayne High School and will go out into the world, hopefully to do great things. That's what's anticipated. Now, it wouldn't be a graduation if I didn't share at least a little bit of a history story, right? So, here goes. In the fall of 1776, 23,000 American soldiers, I don't know if you can really call them that, American colonists found themselves with George Washington in New York City trying to defend the city. 32,000 British troops showed up and quickly overwhelmed them, pushing them to the other side of the Delaware River in Philadelphia, where they spent the fall and early winter of 1776. Of the 23,000 original soldiers, by Christmas time, only 8,000 remained. It was a pretty scanty crew. They had signed up to serve for one full year, and their year was up at the end of December. Hope in winning this war was pretty low. The British had been pummeling the United States, the colonies, in pretty much every battle. It was at this time when morale was low that a guy named Thomas Paine wrote a series of pamphlets called The American Crisis. The American Crisis was designed to try to pump people up, to get them back on the ship or on this boat of trying to gain independence. The first lines of The American Crisis, the first pamphlet, are lines that are known well throughout the world and throughout history. I'd like to read you these lines. It says this: "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of his country. But he that stands now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value." George Washington on December 23rd had the first of the American Crisis read to his troops. His troops of 8,000 who walked around with bloody feet in the snow without shoes, who found themselves without food, wondering if this was all worth it. The American Crisis was read. 2 days later, they won their first major battle across the river in Trenton, New Jersey, after crossing the river at night to surprise the Hessian troops on Christmas Day. That battle changed the tide of the war. It made Americans realize that maybe we could do this, that maybe we could build a new country, that we could gain independence and we could provide for ourselves and for our posterity. The opportunity to achieve. The opportunity for the common man to not be held down by the feudalistic norms of history, to where every individual could rise to what their potential would allow them to become. Those men stayed on. And though they lost battles, and though it was not pretty at times, they stayed on and they determined that they were going to try to build that future. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are all beneficiaries of their choices. Though our challenges are not like theirs, and we don't fight tyranny, what we may fight graduates, please stand. Miley Shane Andrews, daughter of Shane and Holly Andrews. Daughter of Ray and McKaylee May Birmingham, daughter of Jeremy and Sherry Birmingham. Randy Levitt, son of Jake and Jamie Levitt. Ayla Deacon, daughter of Jeremy and Gray Deacon. Clancy Fillmore, daughter of Fillmore. Macy Ray Jackson, daughter of Tony and Amy Jackson. Casey Jeffrey, daughter of Edward and Julie Jeffrey. Michaela Jones, daughter of Jake and Brandy Jones. Addison Lee, daughter of Mike and Patty Lee. Braden Rex Lee, son of Mike and Patty Lee. Derek J. Lyman, son of Whitney and Ashley Lyman. New haircut, bud. Kylie Pace, daughter of Travis and Tammy Pace. Ethan Petrie, son of Mike Petrie and Becca Boyce. Avery Salt, daughter of Ben Salt and Bruce Salt. Takara Taylor, daughter of Dale and Marcy Taylor. Russell Van Dyke, son of Kelly and Christy Van Dyke. Uma Vera Paz, daughter of Solteiro Torres y Esther Paz. Waylon J. Woolsey, son of Wade and Valerie Woolsey. Gavin Torrey, son of Matthew and Nicole Torrey. Reagan Blackburn, daughter of Howard and Shree Blackburn. Koyo Ito, daughter of Setsuo and Chieni Ito. Samuel T. Spencer. That's what my office looked like this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance tonight, for your continued support of these students and all of Wayne High School. I will now invite the graduates to shift their tassels.